Welcome to the ATP Project. Here with your hosts, Steve and Jeff. We have a very unusual, slightly out of the norm podcast today, Steve-O. Yeah. We are talking about a new injectable weight loss drug that has become a bit of a craze. And I am pretty amazed by some of the cavalier attitudes towards this thing. We're going to start off with some of the perceived positive, Steve, and then it's going to quickly unravel. I encourage you to listen to this podcast especially if you have any friends or family using this injectable weight loss drug, because if it was my family, I would literally be crash tackling them to the floor and wrestling this off them. It is absolutely diabolical, Steve.
It's diabolical. It really is. It doesn't long term. We're going to talk about long term effects and long term bad effects. You can lose a fifth of your body weight. Yeah, but that's where that's where after that goes downhill.
And even that's misleading. Yeah. So anyway, without further ado, Steve, let's get into it. Steve-O, this is going to be short and sweet, I think.
I think so.
But it's quite topical at the moment.
Oh, yeah.
But we're talking about, and I don't know anything about this other than I think one thing that I've heard you say, injectable weight loss drug.
Yes. Miracle drug. Can I add miracle drug to that?
Well, we're not selling it.
No, we're not selling it.
So, I would imagine again, I don't know anything.
Can I say it's the hottest drug in Hollywood?
Well, you can. I mean,
that's what this article
that's what
says.
People are saying. Yeah. Now, my imagination is that it probably is working profoundly, and that people are probably losing crap tons of weight.
That's true.
But I don't know. But the piper. So the bigger the effect, all right. Unless it's natural, and typically there's always a governance with that. Normally, the bigger the piper to pay.
It is.
So let's see what's going on here, because I heard that. Right. I think you started with the. Do you want to start with the question? What does? What did you say to me?
Okay, I'm going to give you a list of names. You've got to see what they are known for.
Okay.
Elon Musk.
Yep.
Kim Kardashian.
Yep. And Elon Musk is not a stupid person. And look, I don't think Kim Kardashian is, despite the things she gives out. I mean, you don't.
And Jeremy Clarkson.
And Jeremy Clarkson from the driving.
I love him.
He's
from Top Gear.
He's the opposite of woke. And that's quite an eclectic crowd.
It's a weird crowd, isn't it?
So I'm going to say, well, it wouldn't be motor racing. It wouldn't be having their own reality TV shows. They're all smart people.
Yeah.
They're all smart people.
Yeah, they are.
But I think I know where you're going with this.
They've all got a bit of money.
Yeah.
It's a bit of a clue to this one.
Okay. Is it expensive, is it?
This drug is pretty expensive.
Okay. So they're all on the drug that, yes.
Yeah. And we can say the drug company.
Weight loss. Yes,
won't give it the brand name.
Don't give us the brand.
Semaglutide.
Semaglutide.
Yeah. The brand name is there's a couple of brand names actually.
Semaglutide.
Yeah.
So is it glutathione based?
No, I wish. Which was that? I was
going to say
no, this is a weird drug, but I'm going to give you the sizzle.
All right, give me
the positive.
Tell me, Steve, if I go, okay. So if I go, where do I go get this? All right, can I get it in Australia?
Do you want to look good in your budgie smugglers? Oh, that's another Aussie word. We should have.
Yeah, we should have budgie smugglers. Actually, that's a good point. Which is just DTs, which is Dick Togs.
Yeah,
which I think that's Australian too. Speedos is what because that's a brand name like Esky, right? That became synonymous.
Exactly.
It's like your underpants swimmers.
Exactly.
They wear in the Olympics. Anyway, Steve.
No exercise, no diet. This will lose weight dramatically.
I love it.
After 6 months,
yes,
on average, you lose 12% of your body weight. Yeah, I know. You might have heard the sound of the guy in the background go,
after 6 months.
6 months. You lose 12% of your body weight. How good is that?
Now, does it just target fat cells, or does that mean water weight, muscle weight as well?
Yeah, that's
the first question I have to ask.
You've already.
Oh, have I? I'm sorry, I've ruined it. I've gone straight to the throat.
Yeah, it's well, the way it works, because the way it works is very interesting. It actually goes into the pancreas, tells the pancreas, which we'll get to later. We're going to mention the pancreas a bit this podcast.
Well, the pancreas is something that you don't want to get disease in, I'll just say. But anyway, keep going. Okay.
So anyway, so you take this shot.
Yep.
This is the upside.
Yep.
Not much. Anyway, and of course it suppresses it tells the pancreas to secrete these hormone, right? That tells you that you're full, glucagon-like peptide 1.
It suppresses the hormone that tells you that you're full.
Yeah, it tells the pancreas to release this hormone, and this hormone goes to the brain and says, hey, fatty, you're full. Okay.
Right. So it helps with satiety.
Very much so.
Okay,
In fact,
well, that's...
it's all good, isn't it? And then, of course, it also slows down your digestion.
But you can get that from cactus juice.
Yeah, you can.
So what are the other things that work on satiety, Steve?
Okay.
I mean, I'm not talking about calorie-dense foods like fats, which absolutely do.
Yeah, protein does. Is the main one.
Yeah. What else?
High soluble fibers.
Yep. And they're good because, I mean, they're good for your gut and make you feel full.
Exercise.
But what about herbs and stuff like that? It was the cactus. What's the cactus stuff that's really good? And I'm pretty sure this is quadrangularis.
Yeah.
I think I said it.
That's it.
Is it
great for appetite.
Great for appetite control. What else is good for satiety, Steve?
Anything with caffeine in it. But really, you got to remember, satiety is not a bad thing. I mean, you want to be hungry if you're hungry. Because hunger is
Well, most people undereat. And that's actually been my problem for the last time, is that I'm so busy that I don't actually eat enough.
Yeah.
And so therefore I actually get into calorie deficit.
Yep.
And then, Jeff's been a naughty boy by the end of the day because I haven't eaten enough.
Terrible.
Yeah.
And in one study that they were quoting here, of 72 weeks, so just over a year, they lost 1/5 of their body weight.
20%.
20%. Isn't that incredible? So you're impressed? You want to take this stuff?
Well,
you don't need to lose weight, but let's say you did.
As I said, weight is important, but what weight? And because if you're getting sarcopenia, in other words, if you're sacrificing muscle tissue because you're not consuming enough amino acids to maintain muscle, then eventually your metabolism, your basal, your resting metabolism will actually slow, and you'll go into a significant decline for your metabolism.
But Elon Musk takes it. Jeremy Clarkson, Kim Kardashian.
Very, with the exception of the last one, and I don't mean to be rude, but I mean, like, you've got a billionaire genius and you've got Jeremy Clarkson, who's no slouch. Well, why? I mean,
why? Yeah.
I mean, yeah, why?
Okay, I think the reason why is because people have struggled with their weight all their life. Let's say they have, and they don't like exercise. They don't want to change their diet.
Yep.
People in this room probably go, no, why don't you just go for a walk? That's what I would say.
Yeah.
Or why don't you just eat proper foods? They go, no, just give me the injection. And then it changes their brain chemistry.
Wow.
So they feel full.
Yeah.
Or even if they're empty.
Yeah.
So they're naturally going to eat less and they're going to starve themselves. And that's what happens. And they lose less weight.
Wow. Okay.
Incredible.
Yeah, it is.
Great weight loss drug.
No.
It's got a few minor side effects.
Okay. When you say this, Steve, I've known you for too long now. So how bad is it on a scale of 1 to 10?
I'll start from the top and work down.
Okay, give me the mildest side effects to the strongest ones.
Oh, okay.
Don't start at the top.
All right.
Don't get all crazy on me.
I'm trying to find a mild one.
Let me ease
here.
into it. Okay. You're trying to find a mild one.
Yeah. Well, okay. Gastrointestinal events, nausea and diarrhea.
Well, that's not a great place to start.
You know how like some drugs have up to 5% side effects.
Yes.
Guess how much the side effects for the GI tract for this drug is? 85% of people experience these side effects.
Wow. Holy
the gut. Because that's exactly where it works. It screws your gut up.
Okay.
It causes a fermentation in the gut. It slows down digestion.
Gosh, this is kind of like a reminder of like that, white kidney bean extract. Do you remember that, Steve?
Yes.
Phaseolamine, I think, is the trademark term for it. It was a bit of a rage. Man, one of the worst things that you could do is obviously then stop the digestive enzyme from and what would happen is that all the food, especially the carbohydrates, would ferment in your gut. You wouldn't digest them, but then, oh my gosh, you had the piper to pay.
I know, incredible.
Actually, sound like bagpipes.
So that's the best of the side effects.
Okay, we'll keep going then. Tell me. Right. That's terrible.
The second one is hypoglycemia. People would just simply pass out.
Wow.
So that's a problem.
Yeah, blood sugar.
Yeah, absolutely.
What else?
Gallbladder-related events. So they get gallstones and all sorts of,
Wow, what is that from? From the fats?
Well, lack of fats they're eating. And lack of gallbladder stimulation because it just sits there because you're not eating anymore. Because you've had this stupid injection which has told your brain to stop eating. And it doesn't stop you, but you actually... It's the chemical that makes you feel full. So full feels like you've just eaten.
Wow.
You wake up in the morning and your gut's full. And also this slows down gastric emptying.
Oh.
That's what it does.
Yeah. So this is going to lead, I can guarantee you that this is going to be leading to colon and bowel cancer for sure.
Oh, I'll go worse than that for you.
Well, the fact that you mentioned before that it hits the pancreas. All right, keep going. Keep going.
All right.
I mean, I always get nervous when anybody talks about the pancreas, but anyway.
You get palpitations and increase in heart rate, which leads to heart disease if the person is unhealthy.
Wow.
And guess what people are injecting themselves with this typically are?
Overweight.
Yeah.
So the chances of them having heart disease is probably better than average.
Increases it. And that's probably pretty bad, but also it gives you an acute kidney injuries. So you get kidney failures.
So is this legal in Australia?
Absolutely. It's sold out in Australia at the moment. I have got family members and a mate on this. I know 3 people that are on this.
Steve-o.
Well, they're off it now because it's out of stock.
Have you spoken to them about it?
Not as much as I probably should have. but researching for this podcast.
Oh, my Lord, Steve.
You know, I've given you some bad ones. It gets worse.
Well, I can. Oh, my gosh. I mean, what is wrong with our freaking. What? So this is produced by a natural company. They've made a claim around. This is a patented drug.
A patented drug. Absolutely.
If they could just say F you anymore, right? I mean, just.
But, Jeff, it gets worse.
Okay, keep going.
Diabetic retinopathy. So you go blind.
Look, you don't need if you look good and others are looking at you, you don't need to see it. Right?
I say if you go blind, you're not going to worry about your body weight issues anymore. You can't see them.
It's a good point.
And it gets worse. Thyroid cancer.
The big C.
The big C.
Wow.
Now, thyroid cancer is not the worst of them.
What is it? Okay, why do you go blind and why do you get cancer? Why?
Because your blood sugar levels go all screwed up and the blood vessels in your eye are very sensitive to changes.
Very sensitive, very small. I told you about my father who went blind from eating too much licorice, right?
Yeah.
Because they went like sausages. But they're tiny little blood vessels.
Yeah. So they're very sensitive to any blood sugar problems.
Wow.
So low, high, you're going to get it. Thyroid cancer. Now, the good news is you can take your thyroid out. If you get thyroid cancer.
And you'd even get a little bit of weight loss. How much does a typical thyroid weigh, Steve?
It's probably 2 grams.
Oh, that's
something.
Probably more than that. It's probably like 10 grams. Could you find out actually how much thyroid weighs?
Weighs?
But I mean, you thinking, I don't want to short people of 8 grams, Steve, but I reckon it's going to be weighing about 20 grams.
Well, you better be Googling how much.
25 grams.
How much?
Average.
What about how much a pancreas weighs? Because you need to remove that after you get thyroid cancer.
Hang on. And we'll get there in a minute. How much does that weigh? Yeah.
16.4.
Oh, there you go. That's pretty good. It's better than I thought.
Oh, well, I mean, it's better than, don't rip people off, Steve. That's a fair few grams.
Well, it gets worse than that.
Does look at how much your pancreas weighs. All right, so you get thyroid cancer.
Yes.
But that's going to stop your weight loss. Well, unless it gives you permanent weight loss again.
You're going to need thyroid hormone replacement.
Well, you can just get more hormones. Why? Hey,
what's the problem?
Why stop here? Why not just replace all of our natural, horrible, insufficient
organs
and hormone-producing organs with chemicals?
Exactly. And speaking of hormone-producing organs,
pancreas.
This gives you pancreas cancer.
I knew it. And that is just that's
pancreatitis.
Pancreatitis is bad. I just knew it. As soon as you mentioned the pancreas is so important, Steve, because you can't live without it.
Yeah, it's just a little problem. I mean, how much does the pancreas weigh? 70 grams.
I was going to say 100, so then I'm way off. Well, so you nearly lost 100 grams. If you get rid of your stupid thyroid and your pancreas.
Stupid pancreas. And
think of the weight loss.
I'm just trying to think, do we need the pancreas? Do we live without a pancreas? Oh, that's right, we can't.
No.
So you're going to lose a heck of a lot of weight when you're decomposing. That's a lot of weight.
But you'll look good.
You'll look real skinny.
Yeah. Okay.
So this is an off-label use for this, is for weight loss. Now, I've saved the worst side effect to last. There's something worse than pancreatic cancer.
Well, the only thing I can think of that's probably worse, because that's pretty bad. That's up there, right?
Yeah.
Is pretty much more spontaneous death.
well, this to some people may be worse than death, and it's called Semaglutide face. It's when your face radically ages in a matter of months. It radically ages.
And Kim Kardashian's taking this stuff.
It's characterized by gaunt or sagging skin and looking generally more tired.
Wow.
Now, semaglutide face is a rapid deflation of the facial structure attributes to weight loss, says Dr. Lyle Ozempic, chief of plastic surgery at North Shore University Hospital in America.
Wow.
So, I mean, how...
is Kim Kardashian still on it? Or did she just take it once?
No, she just used it to get into that Marilyn Monroe dress for the Logies or whatever she was at.
Logies.
Not Logies. That wouldn't be the Logies.
No. What? That's a... I mean...
How did I say the Logies? I've got the bloody...
Hey.
Oh, the Logies.
Hey,
oh,
Kimmy.
my God.
You coming to the Logies?
Oh,
yeah,
geez.
mate. I'll just whack my frock on.
The bloody
Hang on. Just let me
Logies.
inject myself first so I can fit into my frock. Hey?
But I've got some
Steve-O, she's going to the Oscars.
Oscars, that's
and
right.
the Emmys. She's freaking not going to the Logies.
Hey, that's another Australian word, Logies, isn't it? What's the Logies?
It sounds like a bogey. I mean, that's what I
Yeah, I
always
know.
used to think, right? I mean, like, why couldn't they call it the, I don't know, something cool?
Do you want me to tell you who's actually promoting it, according to this report here I've got here?
Yeah.
It's promoted by, and I'm quoting here,
Yeah.
the alleged pajama-wearing influencers, and they are risking jail time and criminal offences of up to $880,000 for individuals and civil penalties up to $1.1 million, according to the TGA.
Who's the pajama gang?
I don't know much about TikTok-y things and that, but they're the ones that are promoting it. They're called influencers. Now, my wife said I said, who's that person? She showed me a photo of, oh, that's an influencer. I'm going, what's an influencer? And it's like, oh, somebody who talks on TikTok.
It's guerrilla marketing now. So plausible deniability.
Yep.
And look, good on the TGA for actually cracking down on that.
It is good, yeah. Well, it's used for diabetics, and the TGA are looking into it.
Good. But how did it get through?
Yeah. Oh, how did it get through? It was only tested on diabetics, and it reduced the blood sugar levels. This is a diabetic drug.
Okay, all right.
We're talking
well, then
off
I
script.
pause some of the criticism. Maybe I mean, you know, in terms of if things are used off script and their side effects. Because look, at the end of the day, Stephen, I don't know, but does the benefit outweigh the cause for diabetics? I don't know.
Oh, for severe diabetics, you could argue that because diabetes is a horrific disease.
Yep, sure.
But what if you're Elon Musk wanting to lose a few pounds?
No,
Kim Kardashian for getting into a dress?
No. And look, this is where doctors need to obviously show cause in terms of their ability to promote a product with known side effects for weight loss. Now, they may argue that, hang on a minute, that obesity causes heart disease and other diseases. So therefore, in the interest of the patient, mental health, they could potentially argue as well too. It seems like a bit of a stretch to me.
And this is the problem that I've got now. We'll talk dollar costs here. Okay. So let's say you had type 2 diabetes and you were prescribed it. You would get it at a PBS price, which is
what's PBS stands for, Steve?
Public benefit scheme.
Right, yep.
Yeah, or pharmacy benefit scheme. That's right. Pharmaceutical benefit scheme.
So basically the government picks up some of the cost.
Yeah, some of the cost. So the cost of this drug, if you're under PBS, in other words, if you've got type 2 diabetes.
Okay, so I understand. So PBS is designed for families that are struggling.
All right. So this drug on the PBS, of course, like all PBS drugs, is now $29. It used to be $42.
How much does it actually cost, though?
You'd have to ask me that, wouldn't you?
Yes.
It's $1,700 a month.
$1,700 a month.
Correct.
Steve, we're going to open up our own pharmaceutical company.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Hey?
And that's the cheapest of the two brands with this drug in it. There's one that's $1,800.
Just check your morals at the door.
So, okay, putting type 2 diabetes.
That's good though for diabetes. I mean, if you need it and it's life-saving and all the rest of it, but if people are rorting the PBS, so we're paying effectively for people to fit into a dress.
Well, pretty much. But a doctor actually, and they interviewed it, and he's put his name here, Professor Michael Crowley said, the head of Monash University Department thinks that doctors are, quote, fudging their prescriptions on behalf of desperate obese patients. So in other words, say you're obese, but you haven't got type 2 diabetes. It would be, okay, here's a private script for you, which means non-PBS, and you can get it, but it's going to cost you $1,700. But if I say you've got, quote, type 2 diabetes, which you're possibly getting there or you're close to it, I'll write down you've got that and you can get this drug for $29 a month.
So
and that's what they're
are
saying.
These side effects proven?
Yes, they're published. And that's published by the drug company.
Okay.
So I'm not, that was published in the Frontier Endocrinology. So they're very well. So it's really bad.
Guys, just beware. We're not going to mention the brand names, but as far as the actual drug is concerned, be warned, guys. I mean, I appreciate that. People will do so much, for weight loss. And look, I understand what humans are like. We are lazy and shortcut creatures, and that creates some great innovation at times. But oh my gosh, if you know anybody that's on this weight loss, is it an injection, Steve?
Injection.
Once a week?
Once a week. And you pay for it monthly lots.
It's subcutaneous, is it?
Yeah, subcutaneous. So you give it, it's like if everyone know what an EpiPen is, and you go, and it goes into you. And so they're easy to do it yourself. But the cost, $1,700.
That's cheap compared to the cost of your life, Steve. Let's face it, right?
But it costs more than going for a walk.
And worse, sagging face. And
and a few cancers here and there. Now, the TGA stepped in to their credit here and has said that GPs to stop prescribing the drug for weight loss management.
Yeah.
But it became critical by November because in Australia, they were doing it so much that we ran out in Australia of this drug.
Wow.
It actually...
Wow.
Now,
so not only that, I mean, you've got to think of the bugbear. Let's say that, and I don't know much about the drug and its effect on people with diabetes. Let's say if you're diabetic and you're actually using this drug for its intended purpose, prescribed by your doctor, but some asshole's stolen it to get lean, and now you're literally needing this and you're becoming sicker.
Yes.
Like, you must feel like an absolute prick.
Well, maybe.
But you look good.
Yeah.
Well, you look good from behind.
You look great from behind.
Your face is as ugly as a saddlebag.
So the drug's going to come back into pharmacies on March 2023. So next month, which from we're recording this in February, next month it'll be absolutely in stock again. Now, GPs are advised by the RACGP, which is the Royal Australian College of General Practitioners, to, quote, not initiate their medication for new patients until the shortage subsides. But there were GPs who were ignoring the directive, according to this report. So, it's really, really problematic. And there are TikTokers.
The pajama gang.
The pajama gang. That's the weirdest thing. I'm reading out going, is
that like when we had a pajama party? You come over, Steve, and we had those pillow fights and stuff?
That was nice.
That was great.
All the flat feathers went everywhere.
What do you...
All the feathers just fluffed out of the pillows.
Yeah.
Oh, dear. All right. Or they name a TikToker. I don't think we should name a TikToker.
No, let's not name a TikToker, but the pajama game. What is it on TikTok?
Yeah.
I don't even know. Do I have TikTok? Yes, I do.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, I do.
2 hours later.
Now it's time to take my second dose at 0.25
That's a low dose.
milligrams.
Okay.
Let's go. So first week side effects: nausea, vomiting,
Oh, there you go.
migraine,
Oh,
you hear that?
loss of appetite.
Yeah.
All of the side effects you could get, I got my very first week. But I did the shot in my stomach. This time I'm going to do it in my thigh. So hopefully there's going to be a change. A good change.
Well, that's scientific.
that's the funniest thing I've heard. Oh, my God.
Hopefully you can see this. If not, oh well. Here we go. This is bad, right? Okay, in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
So counting how long
the injection goes in.
Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Goodbye pancreas.
I will
Thyroid,
do
pancreas,
my whole weight,
eyeballs.
see how much I lost on the first week, and I'll just keep you updated and see how this whole thing goes.
All right.
Oh my God.
All right. Well, there you go, man. And it's just full. So if you look at that, it's just full of people.
There we go. I don't know how we...
I love the science behind it. Well, it made me feel really sick by doing it in my stomach, so I'm just going to change it to my leg, and it'll have all the benefits and none of the negative side effects.
Absolutely, because when it goes in your body a different route, it changes everything.
Yeah.
She said that when she injected it, the side effect was loss of appetite. That's not a side effect. That's the effect of it. That's what it's supposed to do, stop your appetite. Now, what worries me is it doesn't change your diet behavior, obviously. You just don't feel like eating as much.
No, well, it just helps with control, right?
Yeah,
but this is the thing around satiety. It's easy for you to say, satiety.
Yeah.
But this is where changing fibrous, high protein, healthy fat meals.
Yeah.
And I know that's a little bit harder than just injecting yourself once a week.
Yeah.
But the difference is you get to keep your pancreas.
Well,
which is a good thing.
But it does weigh 70 grams, so you could lose it.
That's a good counterpoint, Steve. Right?
Beck listens to these. Beck, you don't need a pancreas, do you? As Nurse Becky, you don't.
Yeah. Anyway, all right. Well, Steve, is there anything else? Because I'm done with this.
Well, it's a bit like that, isn't it? I mean, I think we should state the absolute bleeding obvious. And that is that I just want one more report from a meta-analysis in Current Diabetes Review.
How long has the drug been out for?
Oh, years.
Oh.
Yeah, it's been out for quite a few years now, mainly just used for diabetics.
Right.
But now it's like,
it's gone crazy.
Yeah, and there's more money in the system now. Remember, inflation's going up, so people have got more money. There was all these payouts.
People have got more money?
Yeah.
Payouts from what?
Oh, from certain diseases that were flying around, payments for that. The government spent an extra $30 billion, put it into the economy. So there's more money in the economy.
Okay. Well, I don't have any of that money.
No, I know.
Do you have any of that money? Anyway, okay.
Anyway, according to one report, a meta-analysis, Current Diabetes Review, much of the weight loss resulting from GLP-1 agonists, which is what this is quote, the loss of muscle, bone mass, and other lean tissue rather than body fat.
Oh, my Lord. So literally we're talking sarcopenia here.
Sarcopenia. You asked that question before and I went, I've got to save that one for later.
You can't use it. But so basically you're trying to lose fat, but you're not losing fat.
It just says
you're losing muscle, bone, organ tissue, probably fluid.
Yep.
So actually by percentage, you might actually be becoming fatter.
Absolutely. And in fact, I'm going to quote this. This is an article. So
this is hilarious. And people are killing themselves to do this.
Literally killing themselves.
Or worse, having a saggy face.
Or worse, going broke.
Yeah.
Yeah. But there is a famous TikTok content creator and model.
Yeah.
Remy Bader says.
Remy Bader, all right.
Yeah,
look. Yeah. You keep reading.
She's 27 years old.
Yeah.
And she, and I'll quote her here.
Whoa, hang on. Sorry. You can tell I've got
Yeah, what are you looking at?
No, look, it's cats playing. It's like little kids doing martial arts.
Oh, yeah, it's cute.
So, yeah, no. Okay, so what was it? What's her name? Remy, Remi.
Bader.
Space or one word?
Space. That's her name.
Bader, Remy Bader, weight loss.
Yeah. So just
Remy Bader controversy. Okay, I see her.
That'd be more likely.
Okay.
What she says is she took this drug.
She's lost a lot of weight, you can see.
Well, she has. And then, quote, lately, just earlier this year, she, quote, gained double the weight back after stopping the weight loss drug.
I can see it.
Yes. And there's a photo after, which I didn't want to put up because she does look morbidly obese now, like the latest ones.
Actually, that's the funny thing is that, Matt, maybe you can throw up some photos of this, but it's true. She.
I've been talking about Ozempic lately.
I know you have. I was on that before it was trending.
So I wanted to ask you about it. When you talk about anything to do with weight, people can't handle it. And it's almost like...
It's their own insecurity.
Right.
No, but I get it. I get triggered by so many things with weight. Now it's considered this trendy drug that is just looking at as negative. And I'm like, but what about all the people that need it?
You were offered it not for vanity. You were offered it because your doctor...
It was brand new, just got FDA approved.
Were you
no one
scared
knew about it. I was so
it?
scared. A few months later got into the bad binging and went off it. And I saw a doctor and they were like, it's 100% because you went on Ozempic.
So it doesn't work when you get off of it.
I gained double the weight back after.
I've been talking about Ozempic lately.
Wow. So there you go, out of her own mouth. So you guys can have a look at this yourself as well. So I appreciate this is very amateur hourish with this sort of stuff. But Matt, you would have put up some of these photos and that, so the tidy up the quality and all that sort of stuff.
Isn't that sad though that she's...
she gained double the weight back. I mean, and again, she's relying on the advice, and maybe the advice hasn't considered some of the negatives there. It's just a tragedy. And you know what? This is just not good. This is not good.
It's terrible. So what we're finding in these people is, yes, it's got horrendous side effects, but let's put them aside for a sec. Let's just look on efficacy. And I know side effects are important, but people are putting on their weight back again. And there's another study here.
Well, no wonder they are, Steve. This is the classic yo-yo dieting, because what happens at the time when people go into, and we crack up about a VLCD. Now, a VLCD is a very low calorie diet. If people are trying to lose weight, typically It's overeating, yes. Yeah. It's eating the wrong types of foods which are calorifically high and nutrient low.
Yeah.
And people are screwing around with their ghrelin, their leptin, and their insulin, and all of a sudden you've created a perfect storm to gain a lot of weight.
Yep.
If you change that by eating, meats, good healthy fats, avocados, nuts, seeds, that sort of stuff, lots and lots of fibrous vegetables and salads and stuff like that, you're going to lose weight, right?
Absolutely.
But what typically happens is that people go, rather than do that, they go, right, I'm just going to have a shake.
Yes.
Or I'm just going to have, I'm going to starve myself to death. Yes, the metabolism keeps flying along for a while, but it's like you've turned the engine off and you're just coasting. After a period of time, the car stops rolling. In other words, the weight loss stops. And all of a sudden, then your body starts sacrificing huge amounts of muscle tissue.
Correct.
It will break it down. And that is sarcopenia effectively. It's where your body starts breaking itself down and you go catabolic. Your muscle is what burns calories at rest. It's your basal metabolic resting rate, right? So that's how many calories you're burning at rest. Once you do that, you then start going, I'm not losing any more weight. You break the diet, you start eating. Guess what? Because of the amount of muscle that you have, the mitochondrial density that you have, which is burning, it's like little furnaces all over your body. You've just reduced those by 10, 15%.
Yeah.
Then you start eating again. What happens?
Yeah.
Not only do you go back to where you were, but you go beyond. And that's the classic yo-yo dieting.
It's absolutely terrible.
So this is doing that on steroids.
And with side effects, terrible side effects, and you're losing, as I said, the studies show that who complains about having too much muscle mass or bone mass and other lean tissue rather than body fat? I mean, this selectively burns your good stuff. So
this is one of the worst drugs I think I've heard of in recent times that is being used purely for vanity.
A lot of the times it is. Like what we're talking about today. And there'll be people writing in saying, it helped my diabetes.
Fine. If you're taking it for your diabetes, Steve, and under the prescription of a doctor for that purpose, and you understand the side effects and the net weight, and again, we respect and trust your doctor and they know what they're doing, great. But if you're taking it purely for fat loss, man, you need your head read.
Well, I mean, I don't think that lady had diabetes. She didn't mention that. And I don't think Elon Musk has got diabetes, and
I'm not going to know of. But
no, it's like Jeremy Clarkson, and this is sad. This is really sad. This is what it's like. Give me the weight loss. Oh yeah, it's terrible side effects, costs a fortune. But do I lose weight? Yeah, but you'll lose muscle. Don't worry. What is
the top of weight?
There's
always the piper to pay. Look, the best piper to pay is just get off your ass, eat, take time to prepare better and go and exercise. And Absolutely. Look, I understand that is difficult.
It's very difficult.
We all have our struggles from time to time, but don't look for the shortcuts like that.
No, don't look at that. That's the biggest thing, because they're horrendously expensive, horrendously dangerous, and horrendously useless.
So, Steve.
Yeah.
Give your friends and family a call and make sure you reach out to Kim and tell her to stop.
Yeah. She keeps texting me.
No, she doesn't. But yeah, reach out to Kim and tell her. Kim, come on, mate.
Hit the gym. Don't hit the
She doesn't need to anyway. She already looks good. Anyway. I'm done with this episode, Steve.
It's a shocker.
It's a shocker. I'm done. Is there anything else you want to say? Because I think we've done it.
If you're taking this for your ego, get off it. That's what I want to say. Get off it. It's terrible.
Yep.
The research is horrendous on it.
Yep.
It's one of the worst drugs I've seen.
It is. It's a shocker. Yeah. It'll be banned. I reckon this will be banned. Within a couple of months, I reckon they'll be banning or greatly restricting. And if they don't, then there's something wrong.
I think you've got to prove, because you've got to remember there's a lot of drugs you have to jump through hoops to
Absolutely.
get. And
you
just
should.
Because they're expensive or because they're what. I think you should prove you can prove you've got diabetes. The doctor doesn't. You've got to actually send something off to, make it, restrict it more, not so someone, I've got a bit of fat on my hip here, I want to lose this, or I want to look good in a bikini for some or whatever. That's
Steve, you do look good in a bikini.
I always look good in a bikini. Absolutely. Mm-hmm. So
just a little shuffle.
And, a little shuffle.
Yeah. Anyway, Steve, we've got to go. We've got a pillow fight to go to. Are you coming over tonight?
Yeah, I'm coming. Okay. I'm there.
All right, guys, thank you for joining us. Please, a bit of tomfoolery and shenanigans going on here, but seriously, if you're on this or you know anyone that's on this, tell them to listen to this podcast and hopefully we can help some people. Steve,
you've got it there. Yes.
FAQs.
Right.
I almost want to apologize for people that are FAQing on this one because this was such a controversial podcast. Anyway, guys, I'm a dietitian, a huge fan of your podcast, and what can I learn from you guys? As with most patients, they come across a myriad of issues, but weight loss and shaking habits with late night snacking is extremely common. How would you go about this? Oh, that's interesting. Well, don't use the drug that we just spoke about. Actually, what's beautiful is that being a dietitian, you understand the benefits of food, which is let food be your medicine and medicine be your food.
Late night snacking is a tricky one. It really is difficult.
Yeah.
And the best thing you can do is to have something that fills you up in the evening, so a large amount of protein.
Yeah.
Like something that really fills you, like that big piece of fish or steak, or something that really fills your stomach
What
up.
happens to vegetarians or vegans, Steve?
Well, they have the big slab of tofu then, or something protein rich like that.
Yeah.
So that's
and
one
as you
thing.
said before, good fiber can help as well too. I guess to
Absolutely.
help that feeling of fullness.
And the second thing is to do, and this is a bit of a trick, is that the dark chocolate is very good at keeping you full.
Yeah, it is.
So have a little bit of that afterwards, because then you've had your stomach's full, almost feeling like it's too full.
Yep.
It's full of protein. It's full of all the good stuff, the vegetables you've had, and the dark chocolate. And so it's filling your stomach up with good stuff, so you don't feel like snacking after that.
And I don't know if you heard before on the podcast, we were sort of talking about dark chocolate. It is probably one of the better guilty pleasures.
Yeah.
I mean, like huge amounts of polyphenols in there. You've got theobromine in there. Relatively low in sugar in comparison to milk chocolate or obviously white chocolate, even though that's not chocolate, but you know what I mean. You kind of still feel like you're being a little bit naughty.
Yeah.
Which is kind of cool because, nobody's perfect. I mean, even bodybuilders who, restrict themselves magnificently and they've got incredible willpower, typically sort of, have a file of goodies that they want to eat after they've finished dieting, right? So having that little release obviously can be beneficial as well too. But I agree, Steve. I think it's about eating the right types of food, getting more of that protein in if you possibly can. But
that's exactly what it's doing. And a little bit of willpower.
So with regards to the shake, Steve, is it just obviously a significant drop in blood sugar?
Yeah. Yeah, you get the reactive hypoglycemia. So avoid high-grain dinners like rice or noodles or pastas or any of those sort of things, breads.
Yeah.
Any of those things, avoid them. Like have zero at dinner.
Yeah.
Not just a little bit, have zero.
Some of the things that we've looked at as well too, and I appreciate that this might not be perfect, but it's good if you're on the go, is utilizing things that are high in fiber and protein and maybe a little bit of dark chocolate, like the new marshmallow bar. Now, I know that's a shameless plug, but it is one of those sorts of things that we've had a lot of people say after dinner, sitting down, watching a movie, looking for that little snack that we can have.
Yep.
That's something that's got high in protein, high in fiber, with a little bit of dark chocolate in there, Australian dark chocolate as well too. That might be something that may help. It's not perfect, but it's designed to support with a bit of willpower and a little bit of practical help that might be able to help. The other things that I like using as well too is the mousses that we make, which have got no sugar in them at all.
Great.
So if people are really, really low sugar, then you can use our high protein mousses or something similar that gives you a high amount of protein, a little bit of fiber. There's no artificial flavors, colors, or preservatives in those mousses. And we've got a white chocolate one and we've got a chocolate one.
And they're beautiful.
And well, they mix up, you whack them in the fridge. So mix them up in a shaker with almond milk or whatever you want to use. Pour it into a little bowl. And then eat it out of that, and you can get the sweet taste, but it's from stevia, Steve. So there's nothing negative in there, and you're getting the protein and the fiber, and you feel like you're having a treat.
That's a really good idea.
Because that for a lot of people, I find is, especially if they've got a sweet tooth, they want to have something.
Yeah.
So it's about making a better choice.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
So that might help. That might help.
That's actually good for you too.
Cool. All right, next one, Steve. Can we do a podcast on the positive negatives of colloidal silver? That is near and dear to my heart. Because I love colloidal silver. Now,
tell us how you really feel.
I love it.
It's amazing. I mean, absolutely. I mean,
and you got to be careful because, like anything, you can get too much of a good thing.
Agrara. Google Agrara.
The blue dude. It looks like Papa Smurf. Yeah,
Literally,
and this is where they come from, blue bloods and all the rest of it. But Steve, colloidal silver. Tell me.
It's extremely antimicrobial.
Yeah.
So topically, there's really no controversy about it. It's whether orally it should be taken in what dose and when and how and all that sort of stuff. Antimicrobials, if they get inside your gut and too much, then you have too much of them. You kill microbes in your gut that are good. But in certain amounts, in certain instances, there is a lot of science around it. So it's certainly something we can look into. But certainly there's loads of use for colloidal silver topically.
Yeah.
Really good one.
And this is where the term blue bloods came from, is that they used to use silver cutlery, and basically by consuming, they'd actually get little bits of silver into their bloodstream, and they'd be eating silver, and their blood would actually become sort of a darker sort of colour.
You've got to look Google smooth
but that's to the extreme, right?
Yeah.
But look, I love colloidal silver for gargling with. Fantastic for sore throats. I have found, and again, Steve, this is for information purposes only.
Yeah, no, it's go to the pharmacy and get some.
Yep.
There's a lot of minerals that kill microbes, and we used to use mercurochrome in the olden days. Do you remember that?
Yeah. That's totally banned now, Steve.
I bet it would be.
Yeah.
You know,
too much mercury?
Yeah, too much mercury. But even gargles, they use potassium iodide.
Yep.
Which is a potent antimicrobial. So minerals and antimicrobial, and silver is extremely antimicrobial.
My understanding, Stephen, correct me if I'm wrong here on the science behind it, but my understanding is that silver specifically decouples the oxygen from the virus, correct?
Very much so.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very
so effectively it suffocates it.
It suffocates it, yeah. It really does. It's very, very toxic for microbes.
Yeah.
So, you know, of course, if you've got like a sore throat, it's a great way, and you could spit it out if you want to.
I do. I use warm water, bit of colloidal silver, maybe a little bit of soap. Sometimes I throw some other herbs in there as well too. But typically, if I'm on the go, I'll grab that and I will gargle for a good 2 minutes.
Yeah.
And I cannot remember the last time that I had a sore throat. I really can't.
Oh, so sore throats are caused by microbes.
Yep.
So you can kill the microbes by touching them with the silver, gargling it.
Yep.
A great way to kill it.
They're starting to use it now, colloidal, silver in fridge linings. They're starting to use it in sportswear with threads. I remember during the Bali bombing that over there, they actually set up a fine silver mist spray because they didn't have enough room in the morgue to be able to put all the bodies, and to stop them from decomposing and smelling, they actually sprayed a fine silver solution over the bodies so that they can process them, because obviously extremely hot over there as well too. So yeah, colloidal silver's got a lot of benefits to it. Again, got to be smart. You don't want to sit there and drink liters of the stuff, because you will turn blue.
You will turn blue.
Which is so funny. But yeah, it is a great compound and used in isolation, and there's probably other things. See, we probably could do a podcast, on colloidal silver.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that would be fun.
Oh, silver is medicine, or weird metals, or something like that. Because remember, mercury was a medicine.
Maybe we could do one on mercury, why we use it, why we didn't. Maybe we could do weird and wonderful things that we did use and or can still use for health, like arsenic.
Yeah.
And comfrey, we mentioned. Like there's a few kind of weird and woolly ones. Strychnine.
All these lovely medicines. Where we could. I reckon it'd be a great one.
That'd be fun.
Thank you for that idea.
Good idea. Guys, thank you for writing in. We love to hear from you. Please contact us on our live chat on our website, or email us at info@atpscience.com, and we're going to send you out a little thank you for writing in. Again, guys, if you're listening to this on Spotify, thank you so much. If you're watching us, please like, share, and subscribe. That really does help us a lot. So, yeah, thank you.
See you next week.
Tik Tok.
Yeah.
Pajama gang? I've got Tok. Hang on.
Tok.
Pajama girls? No, I don't know if I want. Hang on a minute. I don't know if I want to do that.
In case.
You got a number?
Well,
I'll
she's
give her a
got
call.
ass. That's TikTok.
Yeah, you can edit this through the science of. How do you do an underscore? Oh yeah, here we go.
Shift dash.
Oh, hang on. Yeah, that's what
that-
what I said, but she didn't believe me. But anyway.
One thing I disagree with her. She said that.
Cut that out.
You know,
No, she doesn't.
he's cut that.
You cut that. Touching my special place. Hang on a minute. No, I can't say that. Hang on.